How are you? I hope you're having an amazing night, an amazing start to your month. I wanted to hop on live and do a live Q&A. I really love doing these. I have a few topics that I want to talk with you about tonight as well. If you see me looking back and forth, it's because I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram at the same time. So if you're watching live, make sure you say hi. If you're watching the replay, do hashtag replay. I thought I would come on here and jam for like half an hour or so and talk about some of the things that you guys want to talk about. I also wanted to talk to you about some of the things that are coming up behind the scenes and in the inbox. I have 3 specifically that came up. I'm going to just pop my slippers off and get comfy in this chair. Comfy, whatever. So if you are new here, hey, my name is Kristen Jones. I am a spiritual life coach and a quantum Reiki healer. And yeah, that's me. Hi. Tonight we're going to do, like I said, a live Q&A. Hey, Paige. And I'm going to talk to you specifically. I have a few topics, but here's what I want to share with you. First things first, my topics. Like I said, I'm going to talk about blocked chakra or just overwhelm. Hey, girl. I'm also going to talk about active versus passive energy and when we are healing, how that plays into our healing journey. Is it Mel? Sometimes our handles, it's like, tell me your name. If you're on Instagram, make sure you tell me your name too. That way I can put like a name with a handle. And I'm also going to talk about sometimes what the aches in our bodies can sometimes represent. And I'm going to give you a specific example where we can jam on anything. So if you have questions that are coming up for you, stress, anxiety, overwhelm, if you are triggered by some certain things and you want me to help you through it tonight, or what else? If you have any woo questions, I'm 100% here for the woo questions. Mel. Okay. Hey, Mel. Nice to meet you. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you have questions, like I said, comment them and I will, obviously, I can pull you in if you want me to pull you in, or we can just communicate back and forth this way. That's totally fine. This will also go on my IGTV and Facebook. It will go on my Facebook page. Also, before I forget, if you did not see, what was it? I think it was last Tuesday's live, and I also put on my IGTV. The first 5 minutes are wild. So wild. I don't even think it's 5 minutes into it. It could be at least the first 3. And I still haven't had a chance to look for my laptop. The energy from okay, so I frequently see things out of the corner of my eye, spirits, whatever. I'll see orbs and things like that. It's just a normal day at the office for me, and that's fine. My live video last week caught an orb going through, and then you hear the door behind me. Oh, Instagram, you can't see it. Facebook, you can. That door. I'm in my Zen den. It's just a spare bedroom in our office, but I call it my Zen den. And I thought it was my dog. My dogs were downstairs, and my boy Diesel, he is usually near me, and whoa. He was not up here, he was downstairs. And then my husband was like, yeah, I started to walk down the hall towards you, but I heard that you were live, and so I just was like, oh, whatever, I'll just talk to her in a few minutes. He didn't even touch the door. So you actively hear the door. You like see the energy, and then you hear the door, and then I'm turning around, I'm like, what is that? I thought it was somebody coming in or my dog or whatever. It's wild. You have to go watch it. So anyway, shortly after that, you see like a lot of, like I have this really pretty crystal tree right there. Facebook, you can't see it. Sorry, not sorry. And there was a lot of energy around that specific tree. There was a lot of energy going on in the background. It was crazy. So anyway, go watch that. Even if you just watch the first few minutes, the whole video is really good and helpful, and I give you lots of tips and we jam on some things, but it's wild. So let's just dive in. So before we get started, I wanted to share with you, before I even forget, that my spiritual life coaching program starts on Monday. the 7th. So this coming up Monday, I have 2 spots left. And this is for you if you are someone that struggles with stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. If you are looking for, maybe you are feeling lost on your path. Maybe you are just really needing some guidance and someone to help support you and hold space for you and guide you through your healing journey. That's where I come in. And we do one-on-one calls, we do quantum Reiki healing, we do one-on-one texting and kind of like walkie-talkie access through an app called Voxer. Hey, Dana. And what else? You get access to my energy healing meditation series. I have different videos for you behind the scenes. It's a whole vibe. So if you're feeling like, yeah, that's me, shoot me a message and we will talk about the details. First things first, I want to make sure that it feels like a good fit for you. So I'll ask you some questions. We'll see if it's a good fit for you. I will answer any questions that you have. We'll talk about the package options. They have 2 and 4 month options, and we'll kind of go from there. So that's that. Okay, so let's dive in. I got this really amazing question in my inbox last week sometime, I think. And by the way, before I forget, Dana, did you see that video last Tuesday with all the activity in the beginning? It's crazy. Anyway, it's in my IGTV if you didn't. I was just curious because I know that sometimes you catch me live. So I got this really amazing question in my inbox last week, and that was this. How do I know the difference between if I have a blocked chakra? Chakras are our main energy centers. Chakras are our energy centers, and they communicate different information into our body, and based on where that energy center is in our body, it represents something different. And so that's just kind of like the basic version or basic definition of chakras. And she said, is it a blocked chakra or am I just overwhelmed? Yeah, definitely go back and watch it. It's crazy. I can't remember which one it was, but it was last Tuesday. So, whatever that is. And here's my answer. Of course, I need more information. I'm curious as to, what's going on within your life, what's been going on recently, what thoughts are you having, what's going on during the day. And then also it can dive into our past, because oftentimes when our chakras are blocked, especially our lower 3 chakras, it can be from early childhood memories or early teenage memories or even early adulthood memories and different things and situations that we have been through that causes the energy to block. And then it causes those low frequency feelings such as fear, limiting beliefs, lack of worthiness, like feeling unworthy. It can also block our creative energy. It can block sexual energy. It can make you feel unsafe. It can make you feel, not supported, different things like that. I'm just going through the chakras in my head. So when it comes to overwhelm, the first thing that came to me as she asked this question was the solar plexus. The solar plexus is tied to, it's like right here, like right above ungrounded. Yes. So it's, your solar plexus is right here. And our solar plexus is tied to the mind. This can also be tied to personal power, but she was feeling overwhelmed. And so when I was talking to her, yellow came to me and I was like, okay, it could be that you do have a blocked chakra. Yes, that could be. And also, what's going on during the day that you are feeling overwhelmed, that you're feeling like you are not able to sleep. And because as she was trying to fall asleep, she was feeling overwhelmed. And so my encouragement for you is, if you are wondering if it is a blocked chakra or if it is just overwhelm, is to pull out a journal. And I know I say this probably every single day, every single podcast that I do, every single podcast that I do. I talk about it almost daily on my stories. I always have my journal near me. And I think it's important for us to get curious, to ask ourselves questions. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Why am I feeling overwhelmed? So often, I actually talked about this today. I'm recording Journey to Your Soul, my course to help you learn how to heal and how to dive within. And I talked about this a lot today, is so often we push this resistance against the emotions and the feelings that are coming up for us. And we were never meant to feel like shit. We were never meant to feel these low vibrations. If you think about how a toddler feels or how a baby feels and how they act, most of the time they're blissful. I just looked up at my recording on Facebook and I was 11:11 in. Anyway, most of the time they're really happy. They're naturally happy. And that is our natural state. And so if we're not feeling that way, well, of course, we have these outside circumstances and societal programming and, maybe from our upbringing and our parents or teachers or, adults in our life, figures in our lives that, we then proceeded to gain these things, these beliefs that were instilled in us that capped us or that are no longer serving us. And so we push against this resistance of getting curious about ourselves and finding out what's really going on by just shrugging it off. Be like, oh, I'm just feeling overwhelmed and doing nothing about it. And that's not right or not wrong. It's not good or bad. It's just information. And knowing that you, just standing in that knowing, be like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Underwhelmed. Is somebody underwhelmed here? I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but maybe somebody's underwhelmed right now. So anyway, if you're feeling overwhelmed and just acknowledging that, that's huge. That awareness is a huge gift that we give to ourselves. And then also taking it a step further and asking questions or even seeking outside help and be like, I have no idea why the hell I'm feeling overwhelmed. Please help. And allowing someone or even yourself to reverse engineer and just, like I said, get creative or get curious, get creative and curious by asking yourself questions and reverse engineering and finding out, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Why am I feeling overwhelmed right now? And then also, well, where is this coming from? When did I start feeling like this? And then also, did this stem from somewhere else? I mean, you could continuously go back and dig and dig and dig. If you are in the middle of the night and you are like, I am so freaking overwhelmed. Why am I feeling so overwhelmed while I'm falling asleep? I actually recently put up a podcast. Hi, Kimmy. I actually recently put up a podcast episode that is, I can't remember what exactly it's called. Rise Within Conversations is my podcast. If you go to andsherises.com, scroll to the bottom, click on podcast, you can listen to it directly from there, or you can listen to it on literally any podcast listening platform. And I gave you some great tips on how to get better sleep, especially if you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed. And one of them is to just get up and journal. Get your thoughts out of your head. We just allow these thoughts to bounce around back and forth in our head and we don't do anything with them. But when we get them out on paper, we're giving space in our mind to be able to think and to be able to process what's actually going on. And we put it on paper, then it's no longer taking up space. And then it really helps you feel better. I can't even put it into words, but I've seen this meme floating around, or not even meme, but it's like a before and after image of like this little caricature. And she's sitting at a desk and she's got like all these scribbles in her brain. It's like her brain, her thoughts. And if you know, what that anxious feeling or that overwhelmed feeling or that feeling of just like a lot going on in your brain. And it was just like all these scribbles up here. And then she was sitting at a desk and she had a pen and a paper sitting in front of her. And then the next picture was her with her pen in her hand and all the scribbles right on that paper. And her brain was then open. It literally feels like that. It just clears space and it helps you feel better. I'm not saying you have to do something with that information right away, but again, that's where I come in as a life coach or, hiring a therapist or learning how to backtrack and to reverse engineer those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions that are coming up for you, right? Now, when it comes to that blocked chakra, if you're like, okay, maybe I do have some energy that just needs moved here, well, a great way to do that is to, if you are familiar with the chakras, is to utilize, like specifically for her, that was the solar plexus that came up. So working, solar plexus is yellow, so working with wearing yellow crystals, literally any yellow crystals, eating yellow foods, and doing journaling prompts that are specific to the solar plexus, and that will be so beneficial. And then taking that a step further, doing some kind of energy work. If you know energy work yourself, really focusing on that, doing, maybe a solar plexus meditation. These are all just coming to me as I'm just blurting this out to you. When I do quantum Reiki healing sessions for my clients and for just one-on-one sessions aside from my coaching clients, my 60-minute sessions, I do a full chakra alignment. I clear it all out. During the 30-minute sessions and the 45-minute sessions, I do a mini 60-minute sessions, I do a 30-minute chakra full clearing. Then the 45-minute one, I do a 15 of that 45 as this full chakra clearing. But regardless, when I connect to your energy, I can sense which one is I'm being called to and where it is that you're out of alignment, and I can pull that energy, like I can clean it out and pull it back together for you, and it's just powerful. So so I'm just reading, let's see. So let's see. Paige says, I don't know if I'm feeling overwhelmed or unsafe. I am hitting some huge personal goals. Yay! Yay is right. I was watching your stories actually earlier on Facebook. Let's see. But I am feeling scared about my upcoming marriage. I've had dreams about it every night for a week. So it's really amazing what happens in our dream space. Our dream space gives us a really great opportunity to allow our subconscious mind to take over. Also, many times our spirit guides, our angel guides and loved ones can come in and they can give us information as well. And we can be intentional about asking for information in the dream space, which is really cool. My husband just woke up. He's getting ready to go to work. So, that's just a total side note. So, like, if you were curious about dream space, I do have a podcast episode on that. There's all kinds of really great resources. Oh my gosh, I'm like, what is that on my face? It's part of my eye thing that I had earlier. Just gotta keep this skin looking young. Apparently I missed one. Hot Mess Express over here. It's fine. Just the conductor. All aboard. Anyway, so yeah, you can be intentional going into our dream space, and I will address the other part of your comment page. But when we go into our dream space before we fall asleep, just be intentional, whether it's journaling or just simply holding the intention of, or stating out loud, I would like to receive further information on this, and then writing down your dreams and see what's coming up and deciphering those, which I teach in the podcast episode on how to decipher your dreams, what your dreams are telling you. And ooh, yeah. So Google dream interpretation, all teeth fell out, or dream interpretation, losing all of my teeth, and see how it resonates. And there will probably be a few different interpretations, but I feel like that one's a really common one, and I don't know exactly what it means, but from the outside, so if you're, like, for example, if you're fearful about your upcoming marriage, or your teeth are falling out, and yeah, Dana says loss of control, that makes sense. It can mean something else in a literal sense sometimes, like maybe even in your case, Paige, it could mean you actually are having some fear. So let's see, feeling overwhelmed. So I would I would ask yourself, and you can chat if you're still on with me. Let's see. Hold on. Why are you feeling overwhelmed? Or what about you're overwhelmed? So are you overwhelmed or feeling unsafe? Are you referring to your personal goals or your upcoming marriage? I don't know how to get that to go away on Facebook. Okay. And I'll just kind of wait and see what you say if you're still on. I know there's kind of a lag, so it's weird. It's like you're staring at me, just waiting for me to talk. It's so weird. Whoopsie. Okay. So that's big, right? And so then you can ask yourself, why are you afraid that this marriage will fail too? I'm like getting download. So, and then I just like felt it like right here. Like solar plexus heart was like a shock right there. So I'm feeling really called to tell you this. And you can continue to tell me as well if you are feeling comfortable enough. And this is a safe space. None of this will be shared. Yes, I will put this on IGTV. Yes. So I'm feeling really called to tell you this page, and that is this. Oftentimes we seek in other people what we hold on, let me rephrase this. Okay. So sometimes we look for in other people that we actually want to have in ourselves. So for example, I really want to be supported. I'm trying to that was the first thing that just came to me. So maybe that was for you. Literally, I like can't think of anything else right now. I just really want to be supported. So I'm just going to go off of that. So I want to be supported. Well, how can I feel that support within myself? So support comes from your root chakra, and that would be red crystals. So if you are utilizing crystals, red crystals, doing grounding yourself and doing root chakra meditations, and really getting clear with what it is that you are feeling like you want in your relationship and giving that to yourself. This is actually something I did about 6 months or so ago, because I realized I had like these different expectations of things that I desired in my husband, and he's amazing. Like he's giving all of that to me, but I realized for me to feel complete, I needed to feel complete on my own, and not expecting it from him, but communicating rather that I want that from him. Does that make sense? So if it's support that you're really desiring for whatever reason, that's like the only thing I can think of right now. And so that might be for you or for someone else that's watching it now or watching it in the future. If it's the support that you desire in someone else, how can you give that support to you? So you're afraid that this marriage will fail too, and you're not sure why you feel like it will fail. But you feel like it's happening so soon. And was there a time in your life that someone placed a time factor on when you should or should not get married? Like where is that coming from? Also, when is the big day? And so also, I encourage you to just, I know that you do some journaling too. So I encourage you to write down, why am I feeling so scared about my upcoming marriage? And then write down those fears that are coming. And remember, there's no right or wrong. It's all just information, and it's giving you an opportunity to look at it. And okay, so the thing to know is that negative feedback from other people has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of someone else, and it has nothing to do with you. And this is not a knock on him or anything like that too. And so I just, when someone else gives us negative feedback, which I have something that I want to share with you. This actually just came out. This is like, this might resonate. Let me see. Truth does not convey itself through negativity. Truth does not convey itself through negativity. So what do we know about this specific statement, right? The truth is what is. The truth is what is. Like that is the statement. This is the truth. That means it's real, and that means it actually exists. So the negativity is something that is not. So this is not real, and this does not exist. So in our mind, when we have these negative thoughts coming in, what does this statement mean? I've been thinking about this for like the past, I don't know, day and a half or so when this hit me. When we think about these negative thoughts that come in, it's just information. And it doesn't mean that it's not valid. How you feel is valid, but it doesn't mean that it's your truth. And it doesn't mean that it is the truth. And so that negative feedback is not actually your truth. And it may not even be the truth, right? And so, get clear, understand that when people give us that negative feedback, or they're responding or reacting to us, that is their reflection of what it is that they're going through and dealing with. And so now it's our opportunity to look in our own mirror and be like, okay, why is this bothering me so much? Why is what they're saying bothering me so much? What's coming up for me inside? And yeah, does that resonate? And also, I think asking yourself too, I just kind of like zoned out for a second. Asking yourself too, as I was thinking about this, how are you feeling about it being soon? And what? February, March, April, so like 3 months, right? February, March, April. Yay, 3 months. That's exciting. But like, how do you feel about it? Okay, good. So again, and I still encourage you to write down those fears and reverse engineer. Go to my website, andsherises.com, click on free, if you scroll to the bottom, click on free resources. My free journaling guide, I teach you my journaling to heal my journaling to heal method. And this is reverse engineering specifically what it is that you're going through. And it's really powerful stuff. And of course, like, when we're doing one-on-one coaching in a more intimate setting, we would dive in and figure out like piece by piece what's coming up, where is it coming from, and how you're feeling, and just reverse engineer it to find out and get to your truth. And then also knowing what your truth is. 88 days. Hold on. So the first thing that I see come up with angel number 88 is a number, so 88, infinity, a powerful vibration. This number signifies achievement, progress, abundance, and dot dot dot, rude. Now I have to click into it. Let's see. Patience, dependability, power, authority, practical. Oh, I'm not even try to say that word. Good judgment, ambition, business, success, manifestation of wealth and abundance, responsibility, inner wisdom, discipline, and justice. Girl. The number 88 also indicates looking within and finding answers. Like, if that's not a line, I don't know what to tell you. This is wild. Go Google the number 88. I just did angel numbers 88. That's all I did. And then I just clicked the first one. That's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot that's coming up with abundance and prosperity. It also reminds you to create a solid financial foundation for the future. Abundance is coming. Your efforts will soon be revealed. Ooh. So yeah, I would just read on that and click into a website that feels aligned for you. I just clicked the first one because I was already reading that, but I usually read the hers is usually the one. It's called Sacred Scribes Angel Numbers is typically the first one. It's actually the second one on this one. But yeah, that's cool. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little bit of peace and something to really journal on and reflect on, and grab my journaling guide, and that way you can reverse engineer and come to your truth. Those truths so often, and I know you get this because multi-level marketing has like completely tainted us from affirmations, and I love multi-level marketing. I think it is an amazing business model. I also feel like sometimes they feed us full of so much shit that it's like you have to like heal yourself from some of the things that come up. True story, I've had to do that. With affirmations, we can create affirmations that actually work by doing this reverse engineering and getting down to what happened, why it happened, where it's coming from, and what your truth is. That truth is now your affirmation that you are going to repeat, because that is your actual truth. It's not these cute little Pinterest quotes or anything like that. They're such a vibe, and some of them really do resonate. But if it's not your truth, it's not going to change. It's not going to change you. It's just not. And I know this because I've lived it. And I know this because I've also helped a lot of other people through this specific thing. And like, you don't know until you know, right? But creating those affirmations that are for you through the healing process. Powerful, powerful stuff, which also takes me to the next thing. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them below. But that active versus passive energy says I'm currently offline, which doesn't really surprise me. I guess I'll just end this. I'm just going to end this Facebook one. Okay. That's fine. Okay, bye. Close. Let's just exit out of that. Whatever. It just is what it is. Leave. Okay. Also, if you haven't seen this on my stories, whoops, manifesting the shit out of this. I want a Rubicon so bad. I can feel it. I'm manifesting it. So anyway, the active versus the passive energy. This is so cool. So speaking of manifesting, if you didn't see my stories, I haven't talked about this. I talked about it in my email last night? I think I sent it out. I haven't talked about this in a post or anything like that, but I manifested a life coach. And it's funny because I don't even remember putting my information in for it, but if you're familiar with The Secret and Joe Vitale, he's known for The Secret. He has this coaching program called Miracles Coaching, and they are selective about their process of who it is that they bring in. And so right now, When I got the call last week, I think it was on Friday, I was like, what? Come again? This is so weird and so crazy. Oh, yeah, of course it's Mercury retrograde messing with my Facebook. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe I'm just meant to be only on Instagram anyway. So I actually had a conversation with him yesterday, and we have another one tomorrow, and it's really, I totally just scrolled out and forgot why I was telling you this. Manifesting. So I manifested this coach, and he was talking, oh, I know where I was going with it. So he was talking about active versus passive healing. And it's something that I know to be true because I witness it with my own clients. And also, like, sometimes a coach needs a coach, right? And even, even business owners, company owners, Fortune 500 company owners, CEOs, they hire coaches for not only their staff, but also for themselves, because sometimes we just need an outside perspective, right? And so I knew that I needed someone that was in alignment with me, also spoke woo, was also going to be able to do energetic healing work in addition to coaching, very similar to what I do, just at a higher level. And so what he was talking about yesterday was active versus passive energy. So we have both of these energies that are floating around in the universe, and we're either in an active state or a passive state. And so this is kind of like the masculine and the feminine energy, where the active pursues and the energy and the feminine, or I'm sorry, the masculine pursues and the feminine surrenders and flows, right? We're in the receiving. Feminine is meant to receive. And so when we are doing our own healing work, sometimes we just hit a wall in a plateau where it's like we are unable to get to the actual root of what it is that is coming up for us. And it's not good or bad. Again, it's just information to be able to help us process. And so that's when that outsider coming in is so helpful in helping us see where it is that our plateau is, what it is that we're missing. And so it's just really funny to me that I got that call last week, because I was literally just talking to my husband about how I was looking to hire a coach, but I wasn't going to force it. It had to be in alignment, and I was trusting in the timing of it, because I know that I've healed a lot of different things in the past, 3-ish years, but being able to understand there's certain things that are cyclical, and it's really cool when we can see, okay, these things keep coming up. What do I need? Who can I have help me? And, how can I continue to take care of myself as I notice that these things are coming up? So that active and passive energy, he explained it as this. When we're trying to do our own healing work, what can happen is we are actively reverse engineering. We're actively asking questions and getting curious, and this is powerful stuff. And when we are learning to do this on our own. And then we get to the point where we're like, okay, I surrender. I need to heal this thing. I see where it is. I see where it's coming from. Time to surrender and heal and release. And that absolutely happens. And sometimes it gets to a point where it's like you're trying to be in both stages at the same time. You cannot be in both the active and the passive energy. And so it was described as this. For example, say you are trying to fall asleep and you are actively trying to make yourself fall asleep. I'm trying to fall asleep. I'm going to fall asleep now. I'm falling asleep now. I'm going to fall asleep. And you're just telling yourself over and over, I'm going to fall asleep, or I'm trying to fall asleep. And you just are awake for hours because you are in that active phase of, I'm trying to get to sleep. You surrender and you just are like, okay, I'm going to sleep now. And you just surrender. You stop thinking about it. You allow your eyes to close and you relax. Maybe you do a meditation or whatever, and you just surrender and you fall asleep. And so it's the same thing with this, was the active and the passive energy when it comes to healing. And so it was just really fascinating for me to hear it from that perspective of, oh, isn't that interesting? Because I see this in my one-on-one clients all the time. where they do their own work and then they're like, oh, I've hit this plateau, I've hit this wall, I really just don't know what to do. I've had enough, I've hit this point, I don't know what to do next. And then that's where I come in. And so when you're doing your healing work, allow yourself to be curious and reverse engineer. Utilize that journaling to heal method in my journaling guide on my free resources on my website. And oh, hold on. Oh, come kiss me. Okay. Oops. Oh, there you are. I don't know how to exit out of that. How do I exit? Do you know how I exit out of that? Okay, I'm back. Please hold. Love you. I hope you have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah. I'll see you in the morning. Yeah. Bye. Okay. My husband works nights. And then he texted me and I was like, I can't get out of that. So yeah, again, utilize that free resource on my website, journaling guide, and my journaling to heal method, and allow yourself to reverse engineer and then surrender to the process. And if you get to a breaking point, that's, allow yourself to go further and hire a therapist, hire a life coach. Just be active about your healing and not giving into the idea that it has to be this way, that you're always going to feel this way, because you are worthy of feeling good. You are worthy of feeling better. You are worthy of all of your desires. Oh, I'll tell him you said hi. Okay, so any questions? I'm just scrolling. Okay. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about was having aches in our bodies. I was just looking over at my notes. Having aches in our bodies. And this came up actually a couple months ago when I was doing a live. And it was really, really interesting because what she originally wanted to know was how to get rid of the headaches that she is having. And so I can give you tips for days on holistic ways for you to release the headaches. All of them work. But what I really want to know is, why are you having a headache? So this is just the example I'm going to go off of. There is a really great book called, I think it's called You Can Heal Your Body, The Secret Language of Your Body, something like that. If you want to know, just message me and I'll take a picture of the book for you. But anyway, in that book, you can look up the aches and the pains and the different ailments that you're having within your body, and it tells you what it's related to, and it gives you some of it gives you in-depth steps on what you can do to heal the things that are coming up within you. And it's amazing how on point it is. And so in this case, You Can Heal Your Life. Yeah, I think it's that one. There's that one and The Secret Language of Your Body. And I think The Secret Language of Your Body is better than You Can Heal Your Life, because I have both, but the other one I think is better in my opinion. So let's just use the example of a headache for the sake of, tonight's chat. And what I'm curious about was why she was having those headaches. And so we got down to, yeah, it's really good. We got down to the understanding of she was stressed. And then through diving in, we found that she was stressed about her job. And then she had fears coming up of quitting her job and what other people may think. So all of this stress and these fears and these thoughts that she didn't even she understood, but didn't even realize were causing her headaches. So when we don't take the opportunity to look at some of the ailments that are going in our body, if you need medical attention, like by all means, like please go to a doctor. I'm not here saying like I'm gonna cure all, because no, if somebody says they're gonna cure all this way, like absolutely not. Don't buy into that shit. However, I think it's important for us, if we're not needing to seek medical attention, if we are not currently seeking medical attention, and even if you are, it's important to like look and be like, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's going on in my body? And let's see how I can maybe even release some of this stuff. There is a really cool show on Netflix. I can't even remember what the name of it is off the top of my head. But they give all, I think it's actually a documentary, however you say that. And it gives different stories of people who have, some of them, yes, they, like for example, they were receiving treatment for cancer through a medical facility, but then they were also doing the inner work and the energetic work. They were releasing stress, they were releasing like these low things that were not serving them. They were focusing on what they were putting into their mind, what they were putting into their body, and really just being super intentional. And so it's really amazing what happens when we pay attention to the ailments that are going on in our body and what's actually causing them. Of course, like I said, could be an actual medical reason, but like let's also be observers of what's going on in our minds as well that's causing us, because so often, like stress, for example, if we are under a stress state for a period of time, our body will then keep producing those chemicals in our body and releasing all of that within our body. So then we're in that constant stress state. Well, what is that doing to our body long term? It can cause heart issues and it can cause more than just a headache. It can cause all kinds of different issues. And so like, how can we figure out what's going on and what can we do to really take care of ourselves? I'm currently reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural. It just slipped my mind. Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. And it is like, it's information that I already knew, but to see some of the science-backed work that he has done in addition to the woo stuff, the woo stuff, it's really cool. So if you are having a headache, if you are having aches and pains in your body, this is where too the chakras can come in. Like there is something that keeps like in my middle back. And so I'm like, okay, this is not my heart. This feels more like my solar plexus. So what am I holding on to that feels subconscious? So now it's just really time for me to journal and get real with myself. And this is also where having an outsider perspective for myself as a high level, hiring a higher level life coach will really help. So low back would be sacral chakra or your root chakra. So fear and safety, being grounded, and also sacral chakra is tied to the womb, the creative center, the sexual energy, all of our sexual organs there. And so, so just different, really just taking time to pull that stuff up one at a time, looking at these things one at a time. And if it's traumatic, definitely hire someone or seek attention, or, a therapist that is able to help through traumatic situations. Not just anyone can help through trauma. You want to have the right person for that. So just when it comes to, again, with the chakras, where are you having this ache and pain, and what chakra is it that you're needing to look at? And that can really, especially if it's in the back of your body, that is subconscious energy. That is not, so the front of the body is conscious. We probably know what it is that's coming up for us. If it's in the back of the body, it's subconscious energy. So we may not even realize what it is that's coming up for us. Okay. Let me see if there's any questions. And yes, you do need to find that one. It is so good. Oops. Okay, so I think that was it. If you have any questions, I am a message away. Oh my gosh, what is this thing doing? Okay, I think I'm good now. Okay, so if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to shoot me a message. I just kind of vibed on some things, asked some questions. If you need me to dive further, I know Paige asked some questions if you need help with that. And then also know that my spiritual life coaching program again starts on Monday the 7th. Monday is the 7th, right? I think. So like 6 days from today. Link is in the bio. You can check out all the information there. You can shoot me a message if it is feeling aligned for you. And the biggest thing I want you to know is if it keeps showing up for you, it's for a reason. Trust your intuition, trust those nudges. You know if it feels good, if it feels aligned. And even if you're just like, oh, I just really want the information, then gather the information. There's never any pressure from me. I trust in the timing for you, whether it's right or wrong, whether I'm the person for you or not. I just trust in that for you. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.